Hello. This has been a long time coming. It has been inordinately hard to spend time with my horse for reasons good and bad. I can't not complain about the weather to you because I think almost everybody watching is probably under a heat dome. And we have this beautiful, beautiful, fresh morning. Well, it's an afternoon now, but we've had thunderstorm after thunderstorm roll through. Probably 3 inches of rain in a week. And I'm a grandma. And so it's all good. And I have not done anything with Tundra beyond bug spray her occasionally, and of course feed her. And so I've become a little discouraged in in my scheduling, and realized today that and I'm gonna write about this, but I think my goals, because I am so slanted towards mastery, which I tend to characterize as just completion and distance, and so I'm a fan of alliteration. So I'm thinking now that the distance I'm going towards my imagined outcomes, which in this case are, riding her at a full gallop, uh, calmly and safely through the forest, which is full of bears this year. Um, okay, my girl, let's get you going. My distance is I'm not getting anywhere, and this feels discouraging to my mind. Good girl, I like that. My mind likes the distance goals. She is tracking progress against measurable outcomes towards a destination. Walk on. And it occurs to me that my mind is a bully, and that the things that she likes to say to the rest of my team are very dismissive. They're very, look at this, like we have come a little bit of a ways in terms of walking the perimeter and soaking together with this distance between us. And so I'm very pleased with that, because that obviously marinated. We were doing successfully, walk, trot, canter before this last gap in training. But oh my goodness, I love it. Let's see if she can come in. That's the draw energy. I really appreciate that. And I'm just gonna turn my belly away and turn my eyes away and soak a little bit. Anyway, distance goals. Distance goals are very motivating to me. And they're very motivating, I'm realizing, to just part of me. There are other goals that could encourage me that we are still doing something and nothing is being wasted. And so, in the interest of alliteration and in the interest of triads, nope, walk on. I am thinking now, I was showing you off, and now you're doing exactly the opposite. Exactly the opposite. You're staying close to me. And we'll just push, 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 push. There you go. Nope, I'm not drawing. I'm just indicating. So if my mind, there we go, good girl. So I'm going to drop the pressure. If my mind likes distance goals, which is measurable progress towards something that's off in the future, I think that my body probably appreciates depth. And that's what I've come into the round pen trying to encourage myself to look for, is depth of shared communication, depth of understanding, depth of emotional regulation, depth of trust, depth of, ability to read my energy and for me to read hers. I'm really trying to appreciate that even though we're not doing something very flashy. Beautiful. She went to a walk. I never asked her to trot, so I am hoping that she has a baseline of walking. Much much different than my preferred pace. So I'm just going to be soaking, but I am teaching this horse in this moment to soak while moving and have a little bit of distance between us. So she's not supposed to emotionally regulate off proximity. And because she's a little bit of a baby horse and a little bit enmeshed with me and a little bit dependent, for her, this is hard. For other horses, it would not be a thing. They'd be tearing around the circumference. Nope, walk on without a problem and having more trouble coming in. But Tundra and I struggle with too much draw. So this is what we're practicing, and this direction seems to be harder today. So I'm gonna call you in as I multitask like crazy. I'm looking for not just, really beautiful execution of something that we've practiced, but I'm looking for depth of the relationship, depth of physical comfort with the whole deal. And I think what brought this on is a behavior that surfaced. I'm going to ask you to do a little more before you get that treat, okay? So walk on. A behavior that surfaced a couple weeks ago, which was really discouraging to me, which was her choosing to bolt off just as I put the saddle on her back so that it banged around and then fell off. Because I think possibly the rigging banged her leg, and she didn't like that. And so the metal part of the cinch, I think, maybe hit her elbow or something, or her funny bone, and she decided to run off. And then we were back to square one. And I was hurt. Honestly, I was just like, really? Like, we've gone so far past this, and don't you like me? Like, my heart went into a little bit of a pout, and I could feel it. I could feel, a little bit of resentment to Tundra, a little bit of like thinking, you're being just like petty and mean. And I'm going to call you in again because I'm, again, trying to pay attention. You did so good, and you were asking for a treat, and you did a good job there. Good girl. So, there was a lot of feelings to that moment. And I did manage to do a couple of lessons around it where I, kept my temper, and we broke it down, and we went right back to, let's put the blanket on. Let's ask you to consent to stay still. Let's have you sniff the saddle. And she let me put the saddle on, but not the cinch. And I ended the lesson without having done up the saddle. And then the reins came, and the baby came, and all the things came. And so I found myself feeling, what's the point? And and that's being dramatic, and I am dramatic sometimes. But what's the point? Like, when you spiral around and you make progress, and all of a sudden it feels like all the progress goes away. And I think that this is also, I've been thinking, I've been trying to self-talk myself into a better state. But I think this is also my mind, again, taking the reins, as it were, and really deciding that this should be easy. For her, for me, for all of us, it should be easy. It should be fast. We should move on. And the fact is, it is not easy. It is as hard as it is. It takes as long as it takes. I know this. And Tundra is not, going to be any different than she is. So there's no sense me fighting reality on this one. Okay, walk on. I'm going to look for depth of understanding and see if we can, first of all, soak at a distance. Yeah, you don't like that, do you? So good. I do feel like there is some progress in that she's not at all escalating. She's questioning my cue and she's trying to decide what she can get away with, but I do not sense an uptight horse here. And we're trotting, and that's a lovely thing. So I was going to cue a trot. I haven't cued a trot, but I'll let her keep trotting because it's actually a very relaxing gait. Anyway, so depth instead of distance as a goal for today is a little bit more realistic and a little settling to my injured heart. But I thought of a third one. Okay, trot. Let's see. Trot. Good girl. And so she, I think, had to think about that, but she is starting to know that. Oh, and we're wanting to back, which is fine. And she might be anticipating that I'm going to ask her to canter, which has been very exciting. Swishing her tail, pinning her ears, looking at the ground, kind of just getting generally tensed up. I'm going to stop. Oh, go girl. I really like that. So I'm not asking you to emotionally escalate with the physical speed change. I'm actually just asking for a speed change. Yeah, go girl. And that is, depth, right? If Tundra and me can go faster without emotionally rising, that's a big deal. I'll just work with you. So trot is the cue for trotting. And it's nice to have an audible cue so that I don't need to always, be pressuring her physically. Good girl. And that's really nice. I love the relaxation there. Okay, walk on. She is really getting much better at the direction changes, at moving off of my cue. All of this, I had to pause everything and teach because I just hadn't. I've been working so much on walking with her with you guys that I had not done this distance communication. So once again, on this direction, she wants to come a little closer. So I'm just going to push you. There we go. Nice. There we go. Yeah, so it's not the big emotional deal that it was previously. So I got to appreciate these small little bits of progress. Good girl. Good girl. And I'm kind of waiting for a blowout here, meaning a big breath or a like that. She's holding a little bit of tension. Not a lot, but a little bit. Good girl. And I'm going to give you a treat for that. I'm reducing the number of treats that I'm giving. I'm trying to believe that my presence and my praise matters just as much or more than the food for draw. Yeah, good girl. Okay. So anyway, distance goals are observable behavioral, change, skills development, being able to do something that you could see. Depth, though, is a little bit less visible and a little more physical. It's more felt in my gut and her gut. It's being able to do more with more understanding and less emotional reactivity to the whole thing. So I'm going to try. This is the cue to canter. Yep. And clearly it's very, very much emerging. There we go. I'm just trying to up my drive, but keep myself very calm. There we go. And there we go. You know, honestly, it's clear that's a very good indication that depth is not there, right? She sort of knows what she's doing, but she's not really getting the difference between an extended trot and a canter. And so that's just a matter of repetition and giving her a break when she gets it, and not for me to not ever raise my emotional level while cueing the canter. Nope. Good girl. That was great. Okay, good girl. Trot, which you're doing. I'm curious if she's gonna volunteer a canter because she's thinking about it. Right? You're thinking about it. Good girl. And perfect. Perfect. That was it. So she was thinking, she was wondering, and she started cantering the minute that I kissed. What a good girl. And a little back and a little counter canter and a little messiness. I don't care. This is hard. It's one hard thing. And again, if I think about depth, not distance, it's such a better experience. And the other thing, okay, I keep trying to tell you more while I'm doing this. Okay, walk on. I know the horseflies are coming out. The other kind of goal, which I think is in my heart center, trot, is discovery. So discovery is a completely different process that I could apply to any interaction, and it involves learning, right? It involves actually taking in new information, which she's doing right now. She's learning pressure. Perfect. Good girl. She's learning that a canter and a kiss go together. And so that's discovery. That's not depth, and it's not distance. It's not pretty, and she's not sure about it. She's discovering it. So it's an emotional goal in that it's a little bit scary because she's not sure what I want. And, you know, depth, she's pretty sure what I want, but she's just experimenting in different contexts. And distance would be, you know, where we do something really, really, where we use it in a functional situation, and we make some mileage with the goal. So I am really working on a lot of things at the same time with this mare. And what I'm trying to tell myself, and maybe I'll wrap this video up, what I'm trying to tell myself is, like, Lynn, you also are dealing with a lot of depth in your life, a lot of discovery. There's lots that I'm learning that's brand new, both in what I'm writing about, but also in my roles in general. Like, becoming an OMA is a big, big, big shift in my world. And I don't even know what to do with that. Like, everybody's asking how I feel, and I don't have a clue. Like, it's very exciting and wonderful, and Magellan is a real person. And I just don't feel any more grandmotherly than I did last week, but here I am, actually a grandparent. And so, that's discovery. That's new. I have to work everything around this new thing, and that takes energy. And back to one hard thing, right? Like, energy is at a premium, and so I need to either work on discovering new things or deepening my physical ability to manage the world with those new things, or distance goals. And distance goals, are kind of the dessert, not the whole thing. And that's what I'm telling my mind. It's okay that we don't look like we're making a lot of progress. We are. we're discovering lots, and we're deepening in all areas, and this is wonderful. And again, the round pen is a lovely place to demonstrate. But I will now spend some time with my horse without you guys, and just enjoy the deepening, um, as well as the discovery, and forget about the distance for a little bit. Have a great Wednesday, and we will. I think this is working, so we'll keep doing this.